everyone else. On April 13th, one night only, Metallica.com is going to have the location nearest you, or if you want to buy tickets. If you can win them, you should do that. Caller 10. I got a pair of preview passes for you to be among the first to experience Metallica's brand new 72 Seasons. So caller 10, come and get it. Good luck. 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
Did you miss us? Because we missed you. Well, not Jerry from Willoughby, but the rest of you.
The Alan Cox Show.
On 100.7 WMMS.
We are still sending people to see the Metallica tour stop in Detroit, by the way. The way they're doing this M72 World Tour is they're doing full weekends in every city. They're doing arenas and stadiums. Not arenas, they're doing stadiums. They're not coming to Cleveland, at least not in the first run. They're going to do Detroit in November. Different set each night. They're doing Fridays and Sundays in every city they stop with different opening bands. So Friday, November 10th is Pantera and Mammoth WVH. That's Eddie Van Halen's kid. And then that second night in Detroit, it's Metallica with Five Finger Death Punch and Ice Nine Kills. So 2 nights, 2 different sets, 2 opening acts. They're calling it the No Repeat Weekend Tour. And we have trips for you to go see them in Detroit. So just go to WMMS.com, hit the contest tab, and you can register right there to do it. If you are watching us live today at AlanCoxShow.com, you can thank Birchabald Buttwagon for helping out. Birchabald. Much easier than yesterday's video assistant
Which
to
was
pronounce.
what?
Yesterday's?
Yeah.
Was, I have to go back and look, Hinky Bedoga Bobish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Today's is easier. So
But no less special.
Yeah, we call him the Double B.
Yeah.
Birchabald Buttwagon. Provided that's a man. I don't know. But there it is. Guardians, we are at Baseball Eve. The MLB season starts tomorrow. The Guardians will play their first 4 games of the regular season in Seattle against the Mariners, and then they will bring them here. Well, I imagine they'll find their own way here. Guardians will host them. The home opener is April the 7th against the Seattle Mariners. The game tomorrow night is a late one because it's West Coast. 10:10, first pitch here on WMMS. As we wind down the NBA regular season as well. As we're your FM flagship for Cleveland Guardians and Cavaliers. Hey, that distracted driving law that they passed in Ohio is going to go into effect next week. So if you're one of these people, it starts up Tuesday the 4th. If you're one of these people who's looking at their phone, it's going to become a primary offense. Means they'll pull you over. They said there obviously a lot of people aren't paying attention to what's happening on the road. I think if you're on the phone and you're talking to someone and it's like up against your head,
they want to stop texting and driving.
That's kind of what they want, yes. So they're going to be looking for people who are swerving while driving, to what they call blatantly operating a vehicle with a phone in your hand.
What if you're not? What if you're not blatantly operating the vehicle, but you do have a phone in your hand?
If you're not blatantly operating the vehicle, like you're driving with what if you're driving with your knees and eating a taco? Yeah,
you're
I don't
not
know.
Blatantly operating it.
Yeah. It says for the first 6 months, officers will give drivers a grace period, issuing warnings just to let everybody know the new law is in effect. But after that first 6 months, there's going to be tickets and points off your license. Or
points
is it on your license? Is that what it is?
Yes.
Points on your license.
Because you accumulate up to 12 points, and then it is taken from you.
So you don't start off with a number of points and then they
start
remove
with
them?
0.
Oh, I see. Okay, so it's points on your license.
Yes.
Okay. Well, first offense is $150, 2 points on your license. And if you've ever seen the supercuts that the police will put on YouTube of like distracted driver dash cams, it is a blast. People swerving and just flying into the back of semi-trucks, and man, is it fun. And we've all, even though everybody's probably guilty of it themselves, it doesn't stop you from being enraged when you see someone in front of you or next to you and their phone's in front of their face.
Yeah.
Or they're on their phone. I mean, phones have been around so long that if you don't know how to talk on your phone and drive, you should give up one of those things. You should either give up your driver's license or give up the phone. I mean, we've had these now for a long time. You can't even make the case that texting is relatively new. That's been around a long time, too. And with voice to text, you can, some people have the automatic replies that you'll get. Hey, I'm driving now and I can't respond. That's something you can turn on your phone. So, I mean, this is fine. This is good. Anything that keeps people paying attention. But people are going to find ways around it. Everybody does that at one time or never. Everybody's done that thing where they're kind of not paying attention, and then they see a cop. Mm-hmm. They throw their phone on the floor, just reflexively throw their phone on the floor.
It's like, that looks hella suspicious. More suspicious than having the phone in your hand. Because you could be like, oh, I'm just moving it like I was putting my coffee down or something, and it was in the way.
Yeah, but we are still in a period with this kind of stuff where you could ostensibly make a case that that's not what you were doing. Down the road, there will be some kind of technology that law enforcement will have, much in the way of like traffic cameras and things like that, where they're going to be able to determine with near absolute certainty that, in fact, you had your phone. Because they'll pull you over and they'll go, well, we pinged your signal right next to your head. I'm telling you,
they'll be able to tell.
all these kinds of things are going to happen. There's going to be no way around it. But there is a when we make a lot of trips from Ohio to Michigan. My older kids live in Michigan. My wife's whole family is in Michigan. We make a lot of trips. And when you go over that bridge that's in Toledo, that big span bridge there, they have draconian level traffic cameras there. It's 60 miles per hour on that bridge. If you're going 61, you get a thing in the mail that says, hey, we caught you speeding. So everyone around me is practically crashing when we go over that bridge because I put my cruise control at 60 for the length of that bridge. And it's a long bridge. I don't know what that river is, but whatever that bridge is in Toledo, when you're going from Detroit to Cleveland, you're going over that. It's like 280 south or I don't know what it is. I set that cruise control at 60. I'm like, I don't even want there to be, because I've gotten a handful of traffic. The only traffic tickets I've gotten in the last 10 years from that goddamn bridge, going like 61 and a half. Because that's a nice little, cha-ching for that.
Trap,
I'm like, you ain't going to get me, you bastage. You're not getting me again.
I'm always paranoid of that because I'm like, not that I'm doing anything.
There's no reason to be paranoid. Set your cruise control to the speed limit and you're good to go.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm saying like when there's traffic cameras like at an intersection, when it just makes you more conscious and then you get like uncomfortable. It's like
that's why a lot of them are outlawed. I mean, in the municipalities. But I mean, over those bridges.
Lakewood got cameras like crazy. They are everywhere. And
Lakewood should have cameras.
I thought they outlawed that.
A lot of places they did. I think they
maybe
outlawed them in Parma.
In Ohio.
Maybe they just didn't take them down, but they're there. And because
I think
they
still have them up just because they can use them for other
as a
things.
deterrent?
Like surveillance.
Surveillance and crashes and things like that. So,
but they can't give you tickets anymore, I thought.
I don't think so.
Because I look, because they're there.
Unless you're in Lindale, then they're like, we'll
speed trap.
Those cameras essentially are like a cop being behind you, and not that you're doing anything suspicious, but when a cop is there, you're heightened because you're like, oh, there's a cop right there, so you almost feel uncomfortable. So I'm just like, all right, I'm just sit forward, both hands on the wheel. I'm like, I don't ever drive 10 and 2. Like I be leaning, I got my arm out. Like
my legs are up under me. It's
One leg.
It's so stupid. I'm like, drive normal. You don't drive crazy. You're not gonna get a ticket. I'm like, the camera's there. It's gonna see me like touching my radio, and it's gonna give me a ticket.
Touching my radio.
That's the sound of the police.
It's so dumb, but they make me so uncomfortable, and I'm like, you need to get over this, homie. You drive, like I drive too slow to get, well, maybe that would give me a ticket for driving too slow.
Ow!
On city roads, I'm like, 35.
Yeah, you drive too slow. That's what it is.
He's too reliable, and he drives too slow.
Well, see, I'm the car that I just get in my lane and stay there, like on the freeway. I just get in my lane and stay there.
It's like in life.
But I'll be behind a truck, and all the other cars will like the truck's going like 60 miles per hour. I'm like, I can go 60. I'm not in a rush to get anywhere. I'll just sit there. And all these cars are vrooming past me. I'm like, well, damn. Like, where y'all in a rush to go? The highway is 60 miles an hour, 65. It's not that bad. Chill out.
Alan, that's the bridge over the Maumee River in Toledo. I speed over that bridge all the time, and I've never gotten a ticket. I don't know what to tell you. Other people are like, oh, how can they prove it? You don't have to pay the ticket. What do you mean you don't have to pay the ticket? What does that mean, you don't have to pay the ticket?
You don't have to pay it.
Yeah, but then they go, hey, we suspended your license because...
It's like an emergency room bill. You don't have to pay it.
You have to pay it. Yeah, try not paying your speeding ticket. See how well that works out for you. Then you get pulled over. You have no idea why in about 6 months. And they go, yeah, we got to take your car. We got to suspend your license because you have a bunch of speeding tickets. I mean, how is that any different here than anywhere else?
Wouldn't you know, though? Like,
no.
They don't just send you more than one offense, wouldn't they?
They send you a thing and says, hey, we have you on camera. And you can't fight them. I mean, you can try. Anybody ever beat a camera ticket?
I'm sure someone has.
I'm sure someone has if you have the time to go to the lengths it would take, to go to court?
Especially truck drivers, if that's their livelihood.
Well, okay, but I'm not a truck driver. I'm just a dude in a car. And why even invite all that hassle? Just cruise control, 60, I'm good to go. Don't have to worry about it. Alan, I deliver pizza in Lakewood. There are no cameras there, trust me.
No, there are cameras in Lakewood.
But
they just may not be functional.
They're not speed cameras, yeah. Parma has speed cameras in their school zones. Yeah, we have those out where I live. You better be doing 20, boy. 7:30 in the morning. Or third-party cameras were deemed unconstitutional from the Supreme Court. Only people that can issue driving citations
That's
are
what I
law
thought it
enforcement.
was. You had to be given a ticket by a human being.
Well, then maybe that camera on that Maumee Bridge isn't even a thing anymore.
Or it's it's not far enough into Michigan. It's still Ohio.
Yeah, well, it's over the Maumee River. Yeah, you're still in Toledo. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did you guys see that there was a viral TikTok going around of a lady who got pulled over because she was going like 106 taking her kids to school?
No.
Yeah, the cop pulled her over and was like, she's like, I was late. And he was like, you're going 106, like in residential, like from her house to school.
How could you even get up to 106 in a residential area?
And he was like, you didn't think that this was harmful? And she's like, no, I'm running late. I'm just trying to get, like, she couldn't believe that she was going that fast. And I was like, dude, that's crazy. Like 100, I don't think I've ever driven that fast.
And based on what she was probably driving, like, your car's probably wobbling at that point, too.
Oh,
it's not going to be crazy stable at 106.
No, it was actually in really good shape because just before that, she took it to Terry's North Coast Auto.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Just before that?
Yep. She knew I
bet. Was that enough to get her out of a ticket? The cop goes, well, you should have told me that. I know what great work they do.
I mean,
why didn't you tell me, ma'am?
For that, but like they just make sure your car's running good and running safe.
Alan, what it means is it doesn't put points in your license since they can't prove it was you as easily and they can't turn it into your insurance. Tickets from a camera don't hold up. Okay, well, okay.
Yeah, I don't pay them.
Really?
No,
you don't pay a speeding ticket. See, I'm a ticket payer kind of guy.
I'm too nervous for that.
If I get one from the cop, I'm gonna pay it. I got one from an actual cop.
But even like a parking ticket or something, like
I haven't paid a parking ticket.
Oh God, when I first moved back home, I got my car towed twice in 3 days, and it cost me like $500 to get it out of impound. And I was like, oh my God, I cannot keep because I
haven't gotten a parking.
I still had Pennsylvania plates,
though.
and it was like, oh,
I have
God.
one they keep sending me reminders for from the last time I was in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
I do not like any ticket, man. I pay it immediately. I'm
Brian,
like, I don't want.
Brian's like that. Brian's like,
I don't
you're
want
not
to
gonna...
hassle with it. I'm not going to go to court and fight it.
Well, yeah, and Brian's like, you're just not going to pay this ticket. I was like, what are they going to do? I don't have an Indiana license. They can't take my license. And he goes, yeah, but the next time you're in Fort Wayne and you get pulled over for something, you might go to jail.
Right.
Like,
yeah, you got to be going 35 through Fort Wayne.
Risk. live dangerous.
Listen, I barely gamble anymore. This is the kind of stuff I got to do now.
Is that you
I
get
got to
your
have
high?
warrants out in different states so that I can feel like I'm alive.
Could you imagine if we're just like on air one day and then like some Indiana cops or state troopers or whatever just come here like, we need Mary Santora. We're going to take her to jail for unpaid.
You get booked at Helium and
Yeah.
they just show up and escort you out.
Like, what? From unpaid parking ticket, $35.
We have you on camera speeding through the Fox Island Nature Preserve.
You're in the
hitting
cell.
foxes left and right.
Hitting foxes. Beer. What does the fox say indeed? They were screaming and all kinds of stuff.
Mary, I
I
feel
say,
like
slow down, you stupid bitch. My family crosses this street.
Did you see my pups are here?
Alan, ask any Uber driver if you pay a ticket in Ohio that got mailed to you, you're a dumbass.
Dude, I'm with Bill.
If you don't pay mail,
I don't pay that stuff.
if you don't
Listen,
pay,
if you mail me anything, I'm not paying it.
Because you can just say I never got it.
And I'm not just talking about tickets. If you send it in the mail, I'm not paying it.
All right.
You send me an
Well,
email.
I mean,
you send me a link. I'll pay the link.
Yeah.
I'm not paying paper mail.
I tried to explain this to Brian too. With
I think it's because I've lived in so many different places, and maybe Ohio is the one place where that's the case. But boy, everywhere else you're screwed if you don't.
Prove to me that I got this mail. Because
Yeah,
they
but you
can't
gotta
prove it
but
unless
you
you
have
sign
to,
for it.
But you have to go to court and do that.
But
I'm not going to go to court
No.
and go.
If they tell you have to show up for court and then you show up and say I never received the bill, they cannot prove unless you sign for it.
But I'm
they
still
cannot
going
prove
to
it.
court. I don't have time for that. It's worth it to me to not, because what do they always say? You go to court, the cop won't show up, you're out. Yeah, but the cop's the smart one. He's like, I ain't going to court.
It's like an hour out of your day. It happens
I
at
don't have
7
an hour.
in the morning. Yes, you
I wish
do.
I do not.
Yes,
I wish
you
I
do,
did. I
Alan.
don't.
All these times you're like, I woke up at 1 a.m. and I couldn't sleep. You can't take
Yeah,
an
well,
hour out
if
of your 48 hour,
Well, traffic court's not open at 1 in the morning.
but it is
If
at
it
7.
was-
So
please.
get all your stuff done between 1 and 7 and
not
go
how
to
it
traffic
works.
court. How's it not how it works?
Because I got to come in here and put everything together.
At 7? From
Yeah,
7 to 8?
I'm in here. What?
See?
I
You're
don't.
getting
I'm not
flustered
going to
'cause
go
you
to
don't have the right
court.
answer.
I'm not going to go to court for a traffic ticket.
But you could.
And
You're
stand there
saying-
like a dope.
You're
Yeah,
saying
because
you
you know
don't have the time,
you know
which
how
is ridiculous.
Yes, because court is never you're in and you're out. You've been to court before, right?
Yeah, I've
You ever been on
sued.
jury duty?
No. Yes.
Okay, it's like the last chopper out of Saigon, for Christ's sake. There's
Okay,
no in by 1, out by 2.
No. Jury
you
duty
stand
is
there with your thumb.
completely different.
What I'm
When you-
saying is, anytime you have to go to court, you're never going to be on this rigid schedule. You're always going to have your entire day thrown off, and I ain't doing that for $1.75.
Anytime I have been to court for like a speeding ticket or this or that, there's 25 people. They call you up one at a time. Do you plead guilty or not guilty? And you say yes or no, guilty or not guilty. And if you plead guilty, you pay the ticket and you're out. And they have a line of people doing the exact
And
same
if you
thing.
plead not guilty, what?
Then you have to, they schedule you a date where it's
Yes,
just
you got to go back. But this is the whole point. We're not talking about pleading guilty. Pleading guilty is
No.
paying the ticket.
But they wouldn't do that. If you're going to get sued by a cop for whatever amount that you owe,
Well, the
in
cop
the
isn't
mail,
suing me. It's the
whoever,
state-
city of Parma.
It's the state trying to get their money. But you're proving my point. If I
No.
say
They're
not
not going to
guilty,
court over
No, because what I'm saying is you're not going to end up in one of those. You're going to end up with a scheduled court date for your case where you go in, you say, I never got the mail. They can't prove that you did, and the case is dismissed.
but I'm still going to
Oh
court.
my God.
Well,
And my whole point is that you're not that busy.
But I don't want to go to court for a traffic ticket that I can afford.
Okay. It must be nice to be a millionaire, is all I'm saying.
My question is, I just have a quick question, and then I know we probably have to go to break. But if you have tickets that were unpaid and you don't know about it, you never received it in the mail, or you have a different mailing address, you moved, the only time you'll know if you got a ticket is when you go get your license, like when you go renew your license the next time?
Or if you get pulled over for something.
We'll say you don't get pulled over, but like how would I know?
I think you can check on your registration. Like if you go on, I'm sure there's a way to check to see if you have any points on your license. There's a database.
Huh, okay.
Yeah, I'm just telling you, over the course of my life, I've known people who've had their cars like impounded or their license suspended because they didn't pay their tickets.
Yeah,
maybe,
but that's got to
maybe
be
that's not how,
thousands of dollars worth of ticket. If you
I don't
get
know.
one $30 parking ticket, they are not impounding your car.
Yeah, but you
They
can't.
got better stuff to do.
But you can't get your tabs if you have outstanding tickets. You
I
gotta
don't think that's true.
It is true. You got to renew your plates. They're going to go, sorry, you got all these tickets. You got to pay this to the state, before the state will give you your new plate
I
registration.
don't pay the tickets, and I renew my tab, so.
I was gonna say, and I also have my plates until like 2028, so I don't even have to worry about that for 6 years.
Well,
2028.
I guess I like to. Then maybe I like to contribute my largesse to the common good.
Good for you. What a bleeding heart liberal you are.
I really am a bleeding wallet liberal. Okay, listen, I got a break here. I will have those Outlaw Music Festival passes for you. It's Willie Nelson, it's John Fogerty, a bunch of them are coming. Willie's turning 90, and so he's going out on the road and celebrating with everybody, and they're going to get to blossom this summer. So if that's your vibe, I'll have a couple of tickets for you coming back. 35192 to text.
This is the Alan Cox Show. Everywhere on our